a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Open the pod bay doors now.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies close.
I am nothing! No one!
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Get busy living. You get busy dying.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Michael, and welcome to Cinemaze, a podcast where a bunch of mates chat about cinema over some drinks. Today, I'm joined by Charlie, who has previously been on the podcast, as well as Luke and Ed, who are making their debut. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on. How are you traversing?
Very well, thanks, Mika. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be back, Mika.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, mate. Really appreciate it.
No, great to have you all on. In this episode, we'll be diving into yet another HBO epic, the Sam Levinson creation Euphoria, discussing the rollercoaster of emotion that was season 2. And to enhance our ability to speak about the show, we'll be drinking a variety of beers. We got some red Peronis. Boys, you got some Stone and Woods.
Peroni from me, yeah, OG version.
Yeah, Gobbo and I got the Stony, so.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, before we get into it, some quick housekeeping. Make sure you are following the podcast on your chosen streaming platform and leave a 5-star review. Also, if you love YouTube as well, check out the cinemaze YouTube channel where I recently posted a video essay about the characters of Euphoria and how they may secretly be the 7 deadly sins. So go check that out. You don't want to miss it.
Unreal watch that, by the way.
Thank you.
Loved it.
So to those who are new to the podcast, I like to get an idea of who our guests are and what they like to watch. So I ask a few questions about cinema. So first question, boys, Timothy Chalamet or Tom Holland? I'll start with you, Charlie.
Look, it's a Tom Holland for me, definitely. Obviously Spider-Man, but I don't know if you boys have seen The Impossible, one of his earlier roles with Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts. Brilliant. T. Chalamet annoys me.
He annoys
He annoys me, man.
Why?
He's too hot for his boots. I reckon he reckons he's too hot to handle. I don't know if you
You
saw
reckon?
what he wore to the Oscars, but
No. He
yeah.
didn't. He wasn't wearing a shirt with just a blazer.
Yeah, I don't like that. See, Holland
Okay.
just seems like a
Humble.
easygoing, humble bloke, and that's what does it
Okay,
for me.
I see
reckon.
that.
Yeah.
Nice answer. Ed?
I'm going to join Charlie in the Tom Holland department.
Okay.
I can't say I've seen a whole lot of his content. Cinemaze fans are going to hate me already, I can tell. And another thing to add to that, I don't know who Tim Chalamet.
That's okay. That's why we have these questions. Look, he's only one of the biggest actors, but that's okay.
A
Luke?
few haters already, I reckon.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to join the other two boys with Tom Holland. I'm sad to say I also do not know who the other bloke is. I'm not very cultured, clearly. But Tom Holland, I just got to say, is a sort and they're, yeah, that's all I'll have to say.
He is a very good looking man and he's doing some great stuff. So good answers there. Next question, Netflix or Disney Plus? Go back to Charlie.
Man, I think Netflix, just the go-to. As soon as you turn on the TV, it's just staring you in the face. So probably Netflix. But to get your Marvel fix, as I mentioned before, with Holland, definitely a Disney Plus. So, yeah,
Nice.
Netflix from me.
Also, Moon Knight recently out on Disney Plus. Ed, Netflix or Disney Plus?
Pretty simple one for me. Netflix tastes the cake any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm the same. I haven't actually delved into much Disney Plus, so I've got a lot of favorites on Netflix, even though I've probably run out of stuff to watch there. But yeah, Netflix takes the cake.
Any few favorites, TV shows?
I think we'll go into them a bit later, but Ozark is up there. Peaky Blinders definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's some crackers on there. Next question, Zendaya or Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, it's Zendaya for me. I haven't watched a hell of a lot of Anya Taylor-Joy. I liked her in The Witch. That was pretty good. Great film. But as we'll discuss today's, Zendaya is just unbelievable. The acting chops on her.
Yeah, insane. Good answer. Ed?
Yep, again, Zendaya for me. We'll delve into it further, I imagine, but she's a star. and seen a lot of her content since the early Disney days. So
Yeah.
um,
She's come a long way.
she has come a long way. Yep.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to go Zendaya as well. Just keeping on trend. Yeah, not much to say there.
You guys have got any other answers?
We shared
They'll come.
Next question.
Maybe we should get Luke to go first this one.
Yeah, let's turn the tables.
Sounds good.
Next question: the other guys or wedding crashes?
Yeah, this one was a tough one. I'll have to go the other guys just because I'm a bit of a simple dude and take humor out of anything. So, yeah, I love the other guys. I'll go for that. Thought it was pretty funny.
Very funny
Aim
movie.
for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes, well said. This probably got me out of all of the questions. This was a struggle for me. I sort of thought of it as a little bit of a Will Ferrell versus Vince Vaughn debate.
A little bit.
And Vince Vaughn takes the cake for me. It's Wedding
Wow.
Crashes. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn is my number one actor, has been for a long time. So Wedding Crashes. They have both delivered some very funny quotes that get brought up very often, but
They
Wedding
sure
Crashes from me.
No, good answer, Charlie.
I'd probably say the other guys, man. It's probably my most quotable movie. I mean, Will Ferrell's tuna lion monologue is just one of the greatest things
Iconic.
to ever
It's
grace the
iconic.
silver screen. That or Christina as well, just all time. Never fails to make me laugh. So I'll
So
probably
good.
say the other guys.
I've like recently found myself watching the bloopers of the other guys a lot. And they always just like improvise all these jokes. And there's this one where the Prius has just driven through the crime scene, and that guy who's like telling about what they found, he's like, they found a human penis in an eel's mouth. And he's like to Will Ferrell, how did that get in there? He's like, I'm asking you.
Dirty
So
Mike
good.
and the boys.
Good. So good. Next question, Luke, Ozark or Euphoria? This will be pretty telling of the podcast episode.
Look, I'm going to have to go Ozark, unfortunately. Euphoria took me a while to get into, and so did Ozark, to be honest. Most shows do, but I just really liked Ozark. Jason Bateman did really well, and it just, I feel like there's definitely another season coming out. So
Yeah, there is.
yeah, really liked it, and big fan of it. So yeah,
Two good shows there, so hard to be wrong there. Ed?
Euphoria for me. I'm going to have some more haters here because I haven't seen Ozark yet.
That's okay,
But
though.
Euphoria for me, as I don't have a choice.
I'm in
Charlie?
the same boat, man.
You haven't seen Ozark?
I haven't seen Ozark. I've heard nothing but good things. So, same as Ed, I had no choice but to go with Euphoria on this one.
Fair enough. Ozark is really good. Would highly recommend it. So add that to the list. Next question, into the deep ones. Most memorable movie that you saw in cinemas? Luke.
yeah, I'm going to throw this one quite far back. This was back when 3D was a big thing in cinemas.
3D.
And,
like that.
The old glasses.
That a lot.
Yeah, the glasses. I was probably still in one of those booster seats. My dad actually took me along to see Avatar in 3D. I think
Ooh,
it
Yeah,
was.
nice.
Yeah.
Good one.
And that was the biggest thing back then. So that really took me as one of my most memorable and like probably favorite ones. It's probably been taken over now, but really enjoyed that
Where did you see it?
in a movie cinema. I don't know. It might have been at like, I don't know, Macquarie Centre or something like that.
no.
I can't remember.
Fair enough. So Ed, we'll go to you.
Um,
Most memorable movie that you saw in cinemas?
Yeah. Again, you guys aren't going to like me, but I actually can't remember a recent movie that I saw in the cinemas. So like Luke, I'm going to have to throw it back a fair while. And this
That's
was actually
okay.
the first movie I saw in cinemas, and it was Shrek 1. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Look,
Like
an all-time movie, but I don't think I liked it at the time. I was very young, and apparently I cried throughout the whole thing. But it's,
It is an emotional movie. So
I don't know if it was emotions or being scared of Shrek. I don't know, but
you kind of look like him.
you're over there.
Sorry about that.
No, but that's what's great about it. Like movies, like you weirdly remember all these old ones that you saw.
Yeah.
So good answer there, Charlie.
On the last podcast I was on, I did say Inception from memory, but more recently, if you haven't seen The Batman,
Oh man,
if you have the time, go see it. It's a long one. I went and saw it pretty hungover, but it snapped me out of my hangover in the first about 10 minutes, especially that scene with the Batmobile. I was literally on the edge of my seat.
Oh my God.
You should go and watch that every Sunday then.
Man, it's unbelievable.
Can absolutely attest to that. I've seen it twice now. It's so good and does have you on the edge. So if you haven't seen it, very memorable. Next question, Luke, fastest TV show binge.
Yeah, I was trying to think about this one. I know there's been a few fan favorites in a couple of guests before, in the name of Patrick Hogan. Look, I whenever I get onto a new TV show, I fly through it, obviously, because I'm doing nothing else with my life. So,
Hey, don't sell yourself short.
anyway,
Happy Australia Day.
Happy Australia Day, man.
far out, I don't know. It'd be easily a couple nights. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I went through super quick.
Yep.
They're only like 30, 40-minute episodes.
Yeah.
No,
I think less than that.
There's like
20
minutes.
22,
Yeah.
23,
There's like
I reckon.
eight seasons
Yeah,
or
but
9
there's like
seasons.
there's heaps. And yeah, I flew through that. I reckon it would have been a season every 2 or 3 nights.
I reckon there's like
That's some
reckon that's
serious numbers.
yeah, but you just fly through them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a good shout. I had Entourage as one of mine.
Ooh.
It took me a while to get into it in
Yeah.
terms of being able to actually bring myself to watch it.
Mm.
But over the summer break, I had COVID for a week, as most did.
Yep.
So I found myself literally just watching them, and they're probably half an hour episodes max. And I think there's 7 seasons of probably 12 or 13 episodes. So I reckon I did it in the week at least. At my max, sorry.
You were the one who gave.
A season a day.
Yeah, I reckon.
Wow.
Wow. You were the
yeah.
one who gave us COVID as well, weren't you?
You
No,
were.
I think that came from don't know.
Why not?
A group member in that holiday. Yeah.
Charlie, fastest TV show binge.
Man, I like Ed. When I had COVID, I got through 4 seasons of Yellowstone. So that's 50-minute episodes, 8 each season.
Yeah.
In my 7-week ISO, I finished season 4 as I was finishing ISO. So 4 seasons in 7 days.
Mate,
Yeah, that's
Pretty
a lot.
good shout.
That's a lot, and it's worthy of that as
Absolutely.
well. Next question, we'll go to Charlie again. Favorite Australian movie?
So mine is a bit of an oldie. It's Two Hands with Heath Ledger. I don't know
Okay.
if you've seen it.
Haven't
Heath
seen it
Ledger,
myself.
Rose Byrne. It's set in King's Cross in Sydney. Very
Wow.
like familiar scenes. It's a bit on Bondi Beach.
Mm.
But yeah, that's definitely one. It's really thrilling crime drama where he loses a bit of money for a drug dealer, does Heath, and pretty much has to find it for him. He's in a bit of trouble. So
Wow.
it's a good one, and it's really refreshing seeing early Heath with an Aussie accent. in
Yeah,
film.
for
So
sure.
definitely give it a watch if you can.
It's a bit of a sword back in his day too.
man.
Was one.
Was
Big time.
big talent.
I had to think about this one a little bit. This was one of the movies where I was pretty young. My dad was one of those ones where he just makes you watch it. He just says, trust me, you'll love it. Gallipoli from me. Can't say I remember a whole lot about it now. It was a long time ago when I watched it, but one that's stuck with me for sure since then.
Yeah, good. Good
That takes
film
a
there.
cake for me, yep.
Luke.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go a bit old as well, similar to what Ed did. My old man just put it on and said, "You got to watch this." It's one of the classic comedies, The Castle.
Oh, Great film.
Can't really go past that.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
The oldies love that
There's-
too.
there's-
All-time
yeah,
flick.
I
So
find my
good.
dad saying a lot of the stupid sayings they say in that, and I'm like, "What are you talking
Going
about?"
straight to the pool room.
tell him he's
that's the
dreaming,
one.
man.
Tell him we're dreaming. But yeah, no, that's a great classic.
Yep.
Absolutely. Next question. A movie that you think everyone needs to see.
So last time I said The Thin Red Line, but honestly, I've said it before. More recently, you got to go see The Batman. I'm not joking.
And
That,
right, you-
that 3 hours, you will be on the edge of your seat the entire time. It keeps
Absolutely.
you guessing. So I'll probably say more recently The Batman, but I have answered the questions. So.
Yeah. No, definitely agree.
I'm going to go slightly out there, I think. A movie called Unbroken. I don't know if anyone's
Please.
watched
Yeah.
it. About a
Soldier.
soldier. He was an American Olympian. Gets the call up to World War II. And then obviously does a fair bit of a stint in the POW camp as well. So it's good. It's a good flick. One of those ones where Dad also got me to watch it and actually came out loving it. So
Yeah, great flick.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with my favorite movie or one of them.
Paul Kelly.
Paul Kelly live. Gangs of Youth.
Paul Kelly and Gangs of Youth, great artist. No, but I'm going to go with Moneyball.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that is
great
a
choice.
big-
Look, that's one of my favorite movies, and if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go and watch that.
Yep.
Just the mix of sports and economics just really hit me really well.
yeah,
And Jonah Hill, gotta love the bloke. So
good.
Oscar
Brad
nom for him
Pitt.
too.
yeah,
Great
great
flick.
cast.
great cast. That
Great cast. Next question, favorite streaming service, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm a Netflix guy, and not just because it's the first thing that hits you in the face, but I think the catalogue of movies that they've got coming up this year. I don't know if you saw that trailer end of last year. I'm pretty sure I tagged you in it on Insta,
Probably.
but they've got stuff like that new Chris Hemsworth movie, Escape from Spiderhead, I think it's
Something
called.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, and the Grey Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, which looks unbelievable.
Oh,
That
yeah.
espionage one. But I think the amount of content that they consistently deliver on
Yeah,
really does set them apart. So I'm definitely going to say Netflix.
for sure. Ed?
Yeah, Netflix is probably a pretty standard answer, but it probably takes the cake for me. Little shout out to Amazon Prime as well. They've done a few big sport documentaries, which obviously you guys know, as I'm sure the rest of you are, big sport fanatics. So they do a few of those. Also, just chuck a little plug out there to Lux Listings, just come out season 2. So that's also on there.
Jeff Bezos, fan of the podcast as well.
Yeah, Jeff, hope you're well.
Yeah.
We'll get coffee next week. Luke?
Yeah. Can I just say it? Are you going to say takes the cake again? Did
I say it just now?
You said it about 20 times.
Sorry about
Anyway, yeah, look, probably Netflix. I do like Stan, but I feel like I've run through. I do like Stan, but I feel like I've run through quite a lot of their content pretty quickly, and it does quite annoy me that they've got exclusive rights to a lot of sport now.
Yep.
Um,
They can go.
Yeah,
yeah,
They can go.
yeah, but I'm a big fan of Netflix.
yeah, for sure. Next question, TV show that you're watching in the moment, Luke.
Yeah, I was talking to the boys about this before. A lot of them haven't seen it yet. It's on Netflix. It's called Top Boy. There is a Summer House version, which isn't actually produced by Netflix, but they've got 2 other ones that are. And their new season's just come out, and it's, quality. Some people may not like it, but yeah, I really liked it.
For sure. Have heard good things. Ed?
I'm in a little bit of a funk in relations to TV shows. I haven't really got into anything since Euphoria, which was recent. I will watch Top Boy as of just recently, as Luke suggested, but I am rewatching Ballers, which I'm getting pretty sick of, but great flick that is.
Fox 8.
And
Great channel.
one of the great channels that is.
Great
yeah.
channel.
And obviously, as I plugged before, Lux Listings is on the channels at the moment. So that's
Why are you such a big fan of Lux Listings?
it's just
You're looking at the face of Woolwich there, brother.
One of our
Yeah,
one of
come
our
on, mate.
great friends is actually on it. Yeah, I believe in episode 1.
Oh yes,
Max
Mr.
Oman.
Little shout out to
Mr.
Mr.
Oman.
Jack Rector,
Yes.
who apparently got paid $250 to stand there.
Some great acting gigs.
Yeah,
there.
great acting.
Really in-depth character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Charlie, TV show?
I just started watching Ted Lasso
Beat.
on Apple TV. Man, I'm a massive Jason Sudeikis fan. And I'm really enjoying it. I know nothing about soccer. Absolutely nothing.
Liking it?
But I'm really, really enjoying it.
I need to watch it.
It's so good, man.
brilliant.
It is
It's
so
so
good.
good.
We watched it. Sorry,
Sorry, I was just saying, speaking about like the sports ones, I really enjoyed Drive to Survive as well,
yes.
which I like hated F1, and now I'm a huge fan, and it's in Melbourne this weekend coming.
It is.
So if you aren't a huge fan of sports, I'd recommend to watch movies or TV shows that are about sport, and you just fall in
Yeah.
love with it.
you'll get into it.
So in the last episode, we had an elevator pitch from Nathan. He recommended The Night House, the horror film. And let me just say that it was seriously good. I don't usually sort of like horror films because I usually have nightmares for, a solid amount of time. But it's a seriously interesting story with a very interesting twist at the end. And Rebecca Hall, she plays the lead role. She performed really well. The jump scares, I watched it on my own and they fucked me up. So if you like horror, I would recommend this. Great elevator pitch, Nathan. Thanks for sending
Good
that
on you,
in.
Nathan.
Good on you, Nathan.
Thank you for that.
So the next Cinemates community elevator pitch is coming from Peter. So let's hear what he's got to say.
Hey Michael, big fan of the pod and the YouTube channel. My name's Pete. I am recommending Donnie Darko today. It's a sci-fi fantasy movie back from 2001. It has a 86% Rotten Tomatoes score, and the cast consists of Jake Gyllenhaal in his breakout role, and other features like Drew Barrymore, Maggie Gyllenhaal, his sister, Seth Rogen, and Patrick Swayze. It's a psychological thriller movie, and also hailed as a tiny superhero movie as well, but you'll figure that out by the end of the film. Highly recommend it. Watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago, and my mind was blown. The last 10 minutes really sends you through a loop. Cheers.
Thanks, Pete. Nice recommendation there of Donnie Darko. Have not seen it myself. Have you guys seen Donnie Darko?
I have indeed.
Have not.
Yeah, look, I've heard great things. Does have a bit of a cult following.
Different film.
Yeah, I have heard it's very different. So I'll give it a go, Pete.
Go on you, Pete.
We'll see how
Thanks,
it goes.
Pete Slavin.
Go on you, Pete.
So now getting into Euphoria finally. To the listeners out there who haven't seen the show or season 2 yet, what would you say about the teen drama in one word? Start with you, Charlie.
I'm going to say different. I'm going to say different because I haven't really seen a show with that blend between the standard of acting, the plot, choice of cast, the cinematography, and more importantly, the score. But also in ways I think it's relatable to us because of, I guess, the ways that it deals with, this part of our lives, dealing with relationships between partners and parties, relationships with drugs and alcohol, sexual identity for some, and even that genuine questioning of if there's something greater, especially in this season, if there's something greater than what's on earth for us.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. And like I said before, but the score is just unbelievable. The soundtrack by
It's
Labyrinth.
so good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It is.
For sure. Luke?
Yeah, look, I was just going to keep it nice and simple. I was going to say it was intense.
It was.
New episode was something different. I did like. They always keep you guessing on the last minute or so of the episode.
Yeah.
So you always have to keep watching, which is why it's hard to go to sleep. Close the laptop. I'd often wake up and the laptop was still open playing. Yeah, intense. A lot of things happened in, especially the last episode, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but
We'll get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that later.
Good word. Ed?
Encapsulating for me. This is going to be a pretty icy take, but I actually found myself throughout the season getting losing interest in parts, but it just drew me back in 5 minutes later or something like that. As Luke said, you get
I
to
agree.
the last 3 minutes of the episode and it makes you, as most do, but it just makes you want to watch the next episode. And I found myself up till 2:30, 3 o'clock on a school night.
School night.
Obviously, and encapsulating for me.
Nice word. My word is going to be flexi. Now, the reason why I say flexi is because there were two main characters that really shone this season, Fezco and Lexi. There's a big support for the flexi combination.
I like that, actually.
So, or it might even be flexi, but either way, flexi.
I like
One
flexi.
word. It was a great little plot line this season. So if you haven't seen it, if you want to see what I'm talking about, you're going to have to fucking see it.
I reckon that's a chance to be on tomorrow's Wordle as well, Flexi.
Yeah, it could be on. So if it is tomorrow's Wordle at the time of this recording, you've got to...
Buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. All right. Getting into it, just to recap season 2 of Euphoria. Rue has relapsed after Jules left her at a train station, and now Fez and Ashtray are with her with a new drug dealer, Laurie. And Rue wants to become a drug dealer herself. So she makes a bit of a deal, gets some drugs for herself, and she's back relapsing, which isn't very good. Cassie hooks up with Nate at a New Year's party before Fezco bashes him after sharing a nice moment with Lexi. Rue meets Elliot, who enables her drug habits. Nate and Cassie begin a secret romance while Nate and his father Cal argue about Jules, where Cal later breaks down and lets some things flop out. Nate gives Jules the sex tape before calling the police on his dad. Fezco and Lexi begin a close friendship while Lexi writes a play about her life and those around her. Elliot tells Jules about Rue's drug relapse, who tells Rue's mum and leads to Rue going AWOL as her mum flushed the drugs down the toilet, and she runs away from home to steal money for Laurie and later exposes the truth between Cassie and Nate to Maddie. Lexi's play goes ahead while Fezco gets caught at home with a friend trying to expose him to the police. Ashtray rashly kills him, which leads to the cops breaking in and starting a shootout where Ashtray accidentally shoots Fezco and is later killed. Meanwhile, Cassie and Maddie fight at Lexi's play after Nate breaks up with her for being humiliated. And finally, Rue leaves Jules and stays sober for the rest of the year. So that is season 2. Let's get straight in. What did we think the best parts or scenes were of the season, boys?
I guess I'll kick it off. I was pretty disappointed by season 2. I don't know. Thought it was particularly disjointed, but in saying that, it did have some pretty memorable scenes.
Absolutely.
I know your page reshared the scene where Rue sort of breaks down and really goes at Jules and Elliot and her mum in that living room. That was a pretty powerful, really, really lasting scene for me. And also a special shout out to that scene in episode 1, which I thought was the best episode. That little shot where there was the spotlight of each of the characters.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you remember it.
Yeah.
But I just thought that really, really highlighted each character's sort of individualism in a way, and how all the characters were just sort of intricately connected to each other. But
yeah, for sure.
I thought there were some brilliant scenes in it nonetheless.
Definitely. They made this kind of like behind the scenes thing called Euphoria for You or something, and they were talking about that exact scene, and they basically would turn all the lights off and then flash like one character, and it was very cool to kind of see, as you said, the like spotlight on each and how they all have their own things. Some big scenes that I thought were really good was also at the New Year's Eve party, Fezco and Lexi like sharing a bit of a bond.
Yeah, that.
Fezco was like, hey, you're like the coolest person in here and stuff like that. And you just start to like see what's going on. And later in the season, we also got similar sort of vibe. But they're watching the movie Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Go.
And that was, fucking such a good scene.
Yeah.
You love a Fez and Lexi, eh?
I really do. Flexi, like
Flexi.
they were the highlight of the season for me. I do agree. It was a bit disjointed, but there were still some nice moments in there.
Can I just say there's another good scene? I think it was a bit after the play where Rue like envisions herself and like they're actually in the play and they're sitting at the front of her house.
Oh,
and they were,
yeah,
like, little
yeah.
kids, or like it was after her first relapse, I believe. Oh no, sorry, rather it was when her father
had just
died.
died.
Yeah.
And she like went back on her whole life and like sort of realized that she'd sort of fucked up in a sense. And I thought that was a really powerful scene for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna go to the first New Year's Eve party where Flexi first started. I think that actually just got me because they're two of the like most opposite characters,
Polar opposites.
and I
Great
it was
point.
so unexpected that they were going to click so well, and gave us an opportunity to learn a lot more about both of them because I felt like they were probably overshadowed in season 1.
Yeah.
You didn't really see a lot of them.
Definitely.
And Fez was a big surprise to me how much I got around him.
Yeah, he's got some depth to
Yeah,
him.
he does.
And, and same with Lexi.
Few
start
lessons
to
for
see that.
yourself in the romantic world as well, there, Ed.
Well, Lucas, we don't need any help over there, big guy.
Sorry.
Cut that out.
That was a good comment, man.
I thought another good scene was I mentioned it in my recap, but Cal like breaks down. There's an episode about Cal and his like exploring his sexuality and
In Excess.
his family. Yeah, good In Excess song. But he breaks down and he's just like peeing in his house.
Yeah.
Was
that
that his
All
actual
been there,
penis
man.
or was it fake?
It had to be
Had-
fake.
I thought it was his, Red.
No,
Surely.
I don't
that's
know.
not. That's not
A great
normal, is it?
inclusion, old Dominic.
I thought some other scenes worth mentioning. When Nate is at Maddie's house and he does like the Russian roulette thing with the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absurd.
So intense, and
Crazy.
apparently that was fully improvised.
Wow.
That wasn't even in the script. The director Sam Levinson was just like, "All right, you guys just do what you think they would do in that situation," and
Wow.
they just did it.
Shout out to our mate Jacob.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Jacob Elordi,
Love the
Australian,
podcast.
Yeah.
he's killing it.
Big
He loves this Cinemates podcast.
Big scene for Nate too was I wouldn't say final scene, but it was last episode where he turns his dad in. I think that was
Huge from
a
him.
big moment for him. I reckon got some
Yeah, I grew on him towards the end.
yeah, big time.
definitely.
I reckon
Yeah.
he's gonna have a big season 3.
for sure.
Yeah.
Last big scene I thought goes without saying. Lexi's play.
Yeah, look, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Really?
I kind of, as much as I grew hatred to Nate, I kind of felt bad for him in the play.
Yeah.
I
That
feel
scene
like
in
if
the
it was me,
gym.
I'd be quite angry if
You'd
I
be
was
off
watching
it.
that about me.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, look, I don't know
production-
why. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Great production value for a high school play.
Wasn't it just?
couple
Yeah.
$1 million budget.
It doesn't happen at Joey's.
Not sure who's funding that.
But nonetheless, there were some cracking scenes. And it is worth giving Sam Levinson, the creator, credit. You know, he's made an incredible show. And even though maybe season 2 was a bit more disjointed, as Charlie said, cinematography and the music, as you said, is unreal. So definitely a good season here and there. Anyway, what do we think was some bad scenes? We already kind of started to touch on them, but any sort of particular scenes that you didn't like, boys?
Not scenes in particular for me. I felt like we got lost in a lot of the, I guess, hallucination sort of things when Rue was getting off her head and she was sort of just going off to another world. I felt like you sort of got lost. They'd go on for two or 3 minutes and you just sort of, I guess, lose interest and then sort of lose context of what's actually happening in the episode, and then you be back to
Those
square one.
scenes did make me want to ride a bike, though. Like, I don't know.
Well,
someone-
Yeah,
well, that's when they happened. They were riding the bike through the forest and
Yeah.
like there was
Oh,
the
yeah.
light at the end. I don't know why, but it just made me want to go.
You
and,
want to
like,
have
Getting
some of those
really
moments, do
fucking
you?
Riding a bike.
yeah, take back some memories.
yeah, for
And you
sure.
shoot up too, were you?
I really hated the scene.
Leave that in.
I really hated the scene between Kat and Ethan breaking up. It made me hate Kat as a character.
Yeah.
She's just gaslighting the shit out of him, and I think he's brilliant, as shown in that scene that Luke was alluding to earlier in the play when he's just taking the piss out of Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kat just really annoyed me. Which in my research for this, I actually realized that Kat was apparently really difficult to work with on set with the producers, and the actress was actually one of the reasons that McKay departed from the series.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they apparently did not get along at all on set, and was actually the reason why Kat's screen
Character.
time this series was heavily diluted because of her relationship with the producers, but also her relationship with McKay was the reason that he left the show. So-
Wow.
She's
that-
she's definitely brought on the influence of OnlyFans in our society today. I think, Kat.
Yeah, no,
definitely.
Yeah.
Good on
No,
her.
well said, actually.
Yeah.
I do have a big hatred for Kat as well, though.
As
Yeah.
a character, yeah.
As a character, yeah,
and,
correct.
Well, and now as a person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, where did McKay go?
Yeah.
Like, he just genuinely disappeared after Cassie went with Nate.
Did we see him after that party where Nate and Cassie...
That
was
was
the
the last
end.
you saw of
and you
when-
didn't even see...
when
Like, there was no
Nate was-
backlash with him or anything.
when Nate was just talking really weird to him about like what he was doing in the
That
room.
was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same party when Fez bashed him.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, it was
So
same
maybe
party, yeah.
maybe Fez got to him before he could.
Yeah, but still sad to hear that he left. And yeah, I have heard that she was quite difficult. And yeah, Ethan is a great character. Like the guy that plays him, Austin Abrams, like he's good.
Yeah, he was good.
So maybe season 3, Ethan might have a bit more
Yeah, hope
going
so.
about him. I didn't really like Elliot's song in the finale. Like
It went on
It
too
was
long.
nice. It was a nice moment, but it went on for
Yeah, it went for
ages. They
years.
could
Out
have
of
done like
place.
1 minute for it. Yeah,
It was the entire song. Like,
Yeah, it was the whole
ridiculous.
thing.
Good song though.
good
It could-
song.
It was a good song.
but
They could have done it
voice
as like
on
an
him.
outro to the to the credits of the
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
rather than like in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
to go.
do a little 45-second minute
Yeah,
in the
that's
actual scene and then
ridiculous.
play
Do
it
you
in the
reckon- Do you
outro.
reckon it's a that or three? No.
Yeah, he could have played. If he played 3 nights, I'd
It's
be.
the kind of song about
Big
dedication,
advocate,
isn't it, Luke?
Okay, who do you think your favorite characters were of this season, boys?
I'm gonna cop a bit of heat here, but it's Nate from me.
Nate.
Wow.
Why? Why?
Man,
You're in trouble here,
I
big
was
guy.
thinking about this last night, and in terms of a character that really brings a lot to a scene and just keeps you entertained, always brings something, whether that's a good or bad, emotion. I think he really tops the list. He's just so damaged, and it's just so obvious that he's relating to Cassie because, like him, she's really damaged from her upbringing. Obviously, with her dad, he's got a shocking relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
In terms of complexity, I think he's the only character that is really not sure about his sexuality. And like I said, he really keeps you on your toes throughout. I mean, that scene at the end with Jules when he returns the DVDs, something that I did not see coming. But in saying that, I think he is by and large a terrible human being.
He's evil.
And he also drinks 6 packs of Bud while driving at about 400 k's an hour.
Yeah.
So,
Like his dad as well.
Like his dad,
just
yeah.
absurd.
How do you drink that much and maintain a figure like that as well?
I know.
Yeah.
No idea.
It's
Would like to know.
Yeah. Well, you don't know KFC.
No, I've got the
that's how you
secret.
do it.
Nate, though, that is interesting. For
Yeah.
me, this will probably come as no surprise as I've talked about it the whole episode, but Lexi, I think that
Fuck me.
easily my favorite character this season, her and Fez's romance. And I actually like that they didn't kind of, get together. We're like still sort of being teased at a bit. But she had the courage and confidence to finally speak out before she was hiding, well, not hiding, but as I say in my video essay, she was quite, subdued, and she would, whenever Rue was doing drugs in front of her, say at the funeral of her father, she kind of would hold her breath and not really say anything. But now she's got some balls, so good on her. Her play, she finally was saying her feelings to everyone else. So yeah, for me it was Lexi.
Could open her up for more in season 3, I think, as well.
I think it will.
Definitely. Oh, I hope so at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Ed, Luke, what were your
You
favorite
go,
characters?
Fez for me. Mostly down to the relationship with Lexi. I was going to say Lexi, but I knew you would, so I went to Fez. I agree with what you said because of it was sort of a good thing that you didn't see them actually get together and hook up or anything, because it sort of leaves a little bit left to be desired. But
Yeah.
I reckon in that Stand By Me scene, I reckon that was, if anywhere, if it was ever going to happen, it was going to be then, and I sort of was waiting for it.
Yeah, me too.
Fez, I just liked that we learnt a lot more about him. I was a little bit disappointed in him when he bashed Nate. I thought that was a bit of a bad moment for him. Yeah. But
How good's that line, if I could interrupt, at the New Year's Eve party?
yeah.
When he's just any New Year's resolutions and he's just you, and then just smashes the shit out of
Yeah.
it.
Probably not
Yeah.
a glass the bloke
Yeah,
first.
Not a glass,
no.
Fair enough.
Use your fist.
Yeah, well said.
But in saying that, he did it because of Rue. That just was saying how good of a friend he was.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Where does their relationship stem from? Just because he was selling her drugs?
I think
Because
so.
he
Yeah.
does say a lot. She's like my sister, but you don't really, even in season 1, you don't really get how that occurred. Just
Yeah.
because he was selling her drugs and now he doesn't want to. It's a bit weird.
Well,
Yeah, it
another-
is kind of weird in that sense.
Another big thing for Fez, I think, was there's a scene where Rue comes. I can't remember where she's coming from, but she
Bangs on the door.
bangs on the door. And
Yeah.
she's going nuts, and he's
Withdrawals.
finally taken a stand,
That's
and
season
he's
2, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is
season
season 2, yeah.
Crazy.
And Fez, I mean, he probably doesn't have the grounds to stop now because he's been doing it for years, but he decides that enough's enough, and he can't obviously sell her anymore. But big scene, I thought.
Yeah, I thought as well, with Fez, when he's getting ready for Lexi's play, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like this is gonna be each. She saved him his seat.
Yep.
But yeah, he gets shot by Ashtray accidentally. So it'll be interesting to see if he's all right next season.
Yep. I'll go from there with my favorite character. As you said, he does shoot Fez, but Ashtray is my favorite.
Ashtray.
That is absurd.
Oh man,
Well,
that's worse
look,
than Nate.
I have said that I'll call my firstborn son
With that,
Ashtray.
that will never.
Ashtray Robertson.
Got to find a woman first, though, Luke.
Yes.
Ashtray Robertson.
Look, he's just a reserved character. When he has to be, he's always got Fez's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see a lot of myself in him. And I think he's got a lot. What's the predictions with him?
He's
He's
dead.
dead.
No, but
No.
I've
He's dead,
I've seen some things. Like the scene where he's like sitting up and he's just like staring and the laser goes from his chest to like his eye, but then it cuts scene.
Do we actually? We don't see him
No,
actually
but
get
you
shot.
just hear like
You
a
hear the bang.
you hear a little
He's-
bang.
He's
Maybe
dead.
Could be a rubber.
Fez gets up and shoots the guy who's got
No,
the gun.
I reckon
It could be a
that's-
rubber bullet
I
or
reckon
something.
That's what turns Fez bad in the next season, seeing the death of his little brother.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't
Well,
want
he's
to.
not his
I don't
little
want to
brother.
see that.
I know.
Can I just say, legends never die, and
True
Ashtray
story.
is not dead. Yeah, but that was his own doing. So
He didn't need to stab the guy in the neck.
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
bit.
That was
some
He's
of
a
his
loose
that
cannon.
was bad.
Yeah,
some
he
of his
loses
actions
shockers.
are outrageous, but they're for the good of Fez.
Yeah,
And,
he's got
Yeah.
good intentions.
Wait, he
Really.
stabs the guy in the neck
Yeah.
at that thing. That
which
was
causes
that was
the police.
warranted.
Yeah, because he was bringing
It's
the
unwashed.
cops.
It brings the
Wiring.
police in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he was
he-
wearing wire.
Yeah, but okay, fair enough. But he was being a snake, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
for
gets
sure.
Just
stabbed
get
in the
stitches.
neck.
Definitely.
stitches get stitches.
Stitches weren't going to help him either.
No, they would not.
No.
Obviously goes without saying, Rue's obviously a big character in the show. Zendaya, I think she killed it this season. She'll probably win another Emmy. There are some insane scenes, as you said before. She's like banging on the door, her like breaking down with her mum and stuff. That was pretty hard to watch. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Rue goes next season. So I guess going on that little segue then, predictions for season 3. I've got a few things that I found from Reddit here.
Oh,
yeah.
great website.
Great website.
Used for a couple things, right?
Yeah. As the great Pat Hogan would say, there is a deep dark hole in Reddit.
Shout out to our friend Pat.
Yeah,
Good on you, Patty.
So
Good on you, big guy.
first prediction, Rue and Lexi become closer friends.
Yeah,
Season 3, what do you reckon?
I like that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they got to. If Rue stays sober,
Sober?
then I think they're a big chance.
Okay, interesting. Nate becoming a good guy.
Yeah,
He had a little glimpse there.
I had I reckon he's gonna come out
As
Okay.
homosexual.
as homosexual.
Yeah.
I reckon that's gonna really lift a lot off his shoulders. I had down that him and Jules are gonna get together.
Wow.
Ooh,
Well, man,
interesting.
that little cliffhanger of them in the car and he's saying to her, "I meant what I said."
Mm.
That's got to
Yeah.
count for something. I don't know if he's gonna absolutely ditch.
Was
Cassie
that
and Maddie.
true though, or was he just being a sicko?
Yeah, that's the question, man.
Jules is keeping it in the family.
But I
then.
reckon he's turning a leaf. He didn't have to return that CD, that DVD. But
That is true.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's good to know that Jules did smash that up as well.
mm,
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
on her.
It's out of there.
Yeah, a bit of a release for them both. That's interesting. Next little prediction. Rue and Jules get back together, or are they done?
See, I'm a bit confused by Rue. Not really sure whether she actually is
Yeah, who knows?
what her sexuality is. I feel-
Bisexual?
yeah, look, I'm not entirely- like I was just a bit confused with her for quite a bit.
I think maybe she used Jules as like a source of comfort.
Yeah, because they were originally just
Definitely.
really good friends, and then maybe she sort of started to get some thoughts in her head.
Yeah. And it helped her like
yeah.
be sober, but then she realized maybe they're not
but
good for each
also,
other.
but then when you see her with Elliot, it's
that's a big point. Do we think Rue ever liked Elliot in that way?
yeah, definitely.
she
I,
did.
I thought they were going to
I
get with
thought
each
they
other,
would-
and then
yeah.
Jules comes in and just snakes her.
Yeah, snake.
Because I don't know if it's in season 1 or season 2, but Jules is like asking Rue, like, how come you can't like tell me your feelings when she's sober?
Mm.
Whereas she can easily talk with Elliot. So maybe in saying that, do you think Elliot will get with or get together with Rue or Jules?
I don't know if there's much space for
Look,
Elliot.
man, I reckon he's. I don't reckon he's going to be in season 3 unless that's confirmed.
Don't know.
I mean, I think that song was just almost like his swan song. I think he knows that he's not good for her. And I don't think he's going to be in season 3, but I think Rue and Jules will find love. I really do.
I actually don't want to see it happen. I think
I don't either.
My prediction is that Jules is almost going to become a bit like Rue. I think we sort of saw a bit of it.
Yeah,
where she started
Gets
to
really
lose.
drunk and
Yeah, she was losing the plot a bit.
Yeah, I think I've got a prediction that she might become a bit like that, and then sort of the roles reverse, and
Yeah,
then Rue has to look
good
after
take.
her.
That's
Ah,
a great
interesting.
take, man.
Bit of a
God.
prediction there.
Yeah, there we go.
That is a serious take there. Going a bit further away, but still on Rue, she got all the drugs off Laurie, the new dealer, and paid her back in like jewelry, which wasn't even enough. Then it kind of wasn't even talked about for the other 2 or 3 episodes. What's going to happen there?
Man, I reckon.
She escaped
Yeah.
Did escape
after
'cause
being
she
in the
was-
bathtub
It
or
was
whatever.
so easy
Yeah.
to escape. Like it just
was-
seems way too easy.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Surely
sort
that
of left in
catches
the air
up with
whether
her.
she was going to be sold to sex slavery. But I think Rue's little sister getting into drugs might have something to do with Laurie potentially getting the rest of her money.
Wow.
Whether she gets hooked on, this is Rue's little sister I'm talking about.
Yeah.
gets
Yep, of course.
hooked on Laurie's stuff, whether she plays into it because she was smoking a bit of weed by the end of the season.
Okay.
So they could play off that. So that was my take for that. I think Laurie's definitely going to get the rest of her money somehow.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
That's a great
I
take.
agree.
In season 2, I was definitely a bit lost with that. I was like, hold up, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because you can't just. It was tens of thousands of dollars. So
Yeah.
Rue just got away with murder.
Yeah, I
there,
think
really.
that'll catch up with her. I think.
Yeah, it has to.
I hope so because
I think sorry.
I was just gonna say like I do not like seeing Rue just get away with a lot of the stuff she did.
Yeah.
She'd always
And then
find a
she'd
way.
always. I know it's hard. I couldn't speak from self experience, but just the way that she acted a couple times. I don't know. It feels like I was a bit of a dad, but it just annoyed me a bit.
Yeah, even like when she's kind of going against Mo.
Even when she
was a big character as well.
abused
Yeah.
her mum was just like
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
Yeah.
Even the mum was like, you're not a good person.
yeah,
So yeah, she made some mistakes this
Yeah.
season, that's for
my
sure.
mum says that to me every Sunday.
Yeah, Sam.
Um,
Sunday mornings.
We already kind of touched on it, but is Ashtray still alive or is
Nah,
that
he's
gone
dead.
He
under the
dead,
water?
girl.
He dead, girl.
If he's
Yeah,
not
he
alive
dead as
in
fuck.
episode 1, I'm turning it off.
All right, next prediction, Flexi, Fezco and Lexi, what's going to happen?
Has to
I
happen.
think.
You don't reckon he's going to go to jail?
Oh, his
that's-
blood was on the knife, but
I reckon he gets away
Ashtray
with it.
killed. Yeah, I reckon he gets let off.
So there were no drugs in the
Well,
house.
no, they
No, they got
They,
rid of
They
it.
flushed it
didn't-
all down
they
the
never
toilet.
kept it there
Yeah,
anymore.
remember they
right.
got them all
they
out
changed,
after that
yeah.
original
Sorry,
one.
sorry. Yeah, I reckon in that case, definitely.
I reckon there's so much space for him in the season that they can't send him to jail. In that sense, like he's almost become one of the biggest characters in the show.
Yeah.
Something's
I reckon
gotta-
he's going to get away with it somehow.
I did see in real life Angus Cloud, the guy who plays him, shaved his beard off.
Wow.
And there were some thoughts that because
Oh.
Fezco has a beard, and it would obviously take Angus Cloud a little bit of time to grow it back, that maybe he does
Prison.
go to prison or he's got a
Comes
bit
back
less of a
clean-shaven
role.
or something.
So I don't know if they're filming
There's
yet.
also a
or-
funny, just like a bit of an extra thing. There's also a funny video of him walking around a college in America going, "Don't do drugs, kids."
Angus Cloud.
Yeah.
He's really lapping it up, taking
Yeah.
photos with Kendall, Love and Life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
There's a
Kendall
story
Jenner.
where when he like first did Euphoria, someone came up to him. They're like, "Oh, you're from Euphoria," and he goes, "No, I'm from Detroit." but I'm in the
Yeah,
show
I saw
Euphoria."
that. I saw that today. It popped up on my feed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Next prediction, Maddie. She had a bit of a relationship with the babysitter mum, Samantha.
That's a
Ooh.
They
great
had
take.
something going on in the pool
Yeah,
there. What
the
do we
pool.
reckon's going to happen there?
Yeah,
As
but I
much
think
as I-
we're all hoping for something to go.
Why is that?
Oh, man.
But yeah, pool scene. I reckon there's more to come there.
Yeah,
maybe,
there's,
yeah.
there has to be.
100%.
Yeah.
What's your guys' takes on Maddie? I hate her.
I
I don't know.
I actually like it.
I think she started to have a bit more to her, but then
Influenced by Nate.
like on her own. But then, like, she just went back to being because she obviously fought Cassie at the end, And she just kind of went back to being that same, like, you know, hard bitch.
I think she carried on like a pork chop, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I think she did
It's
carry on.
such a high, and it's probably intentional, but it's just such a high school thing.
Yeah, she's like
for
the
her.
typical high school
Exactly.
she
Like
is,
bad
literally
bitch.
beating the shit out of you, mate, for getting with your broken up ex-boyfriend. Like they were well broken up.
I don't know about that.
Couple
man.
weeks.
They were getting
pretty
back on
bad.
as well.
But man, it's just such a high school thing.
It is a high school thing.
Maddie has a lot of great quotes in the season 2.
She does.
Actually.
Give us one.
No, they're not appropriate. But, I'm sure if you watch a bit of TikTok, you'll see a lot of them.
Speaking of TikTok, we're
Go and follow Cinemaze.
that
Sorry,
Luke.Robertson
TikTok.
98, guys, get
Cut
on that. Notice he's got a few videos
No free
on
plugs in here. Apparently.
Nah, you can give yourself a plug later.
Follow me on Instagram, ed.swan.
Are Cassie and Maddie going to be friends again, or are they done?
There wasn't much talk about Cassie tonight. I'm pretty disappointed.
She was a big character.
I'd like her to distance herself. That's just my thoughts. I think that she has a big role to play in season 3, as I hope we all hope that she does. I think they're going to distance, and then maybe I reckon Cassie almost becomes in a group with Jules.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Jules and
they
maybe,
seem to click pretty well.
Maddie and
back
Kat
end.
sort of belong in their own corner, and then I wouldn't mind Cassie joining the other game.
I reckon
Interesting.
Maddie will extend the olive branch. I reckon probably midway through.
Yeah, because she's
season
gonna
3.
realise
She's
everyone
going to grow
hates
up,
her.
I
Yeah.
reckon.
What do you
and
reckon
she'll-
will
love that.
happen to the girl that vapes just randomly and doesn't say anything in the
Oh,
group?
the other friend. She'll continue to vape and do nothing.
I watched this recap, obviously in preparation for this, where they're introducing it and they sort of compare them to the Mean Girls. What do they call them? The plastics or something?
Yeah, the plastics.
And they give each girl a bit of a summary, and then they go to her and they're just like, we have no idea what role she plays, what her name is.
Just vaping.
That's so good.
Vape girl.
Just sits there.
Sits there, standing there. Last prediction, is Kat going to return or...
Well, after this news tonight, I can't see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
bit of a bombshell.
It was really like it was very noticeable how like her screen time was impacted upon.
Yeah.
And then looking into what was actually happening behind closed doors with McKay's departure, I wouldn't care if she left, to be completely honest with you. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's gone skis.
She
For
did
sure.
cause quite a bit of an entertainer, especially at the fair
Yeah,
in that scene.
Yeah, that was a pretty
She
absurd
went
scene.
on a bit of a run there, but
she did.
Yeah.
I guess with that, will Ethan have a bit more of a role instead of Kat in season 3?
I know you want him to. I don't think so.
I think he will. I think he played a big part in that play, and I think he's got a lot more to offer.
I reckon-
I think he does.
I reckn Ethan and Cassie are going to get together.
I don't mind it.
I'm joking.
is that a
I'm
fish
joking.
tank?
I'm
A boy can
joking.
dream. A boy can dream.
I'm joking.
I don't mind that.
That'd give boys like us a chance, though.
To know that there's hope out there.
Don't
hope.
affiliate
No,
yourself
no.
with other people. No, I'd like to see him gone.
Why?
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. As much as like the play just pulled me off him.
I need a hero.
Yeah. Him in the gym, and he's like getting lifted up in his tidy whities.
I think we'll see what happens with Ethan there. But nonetheless, some big predictions. I think season 3 will be big and hopefully it can redeem itself. So that is a wrap for this episode of Cinemates, a podcast where a bunch of mates chat about cinema over some drinks. Huge thank you to Charlie, Luke, and Ed for coming on the show.
Pleasure,
for having us.
Mika.
Thank you, Mika.
Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, to the Cinemates community, please let us know what you want to hear about in future episodes. And if you want to send in a mailbag or do an elevator pitch as Pete did, send us a DM on Instagram or TikTok at cinemaze_. Otherwise, we will catch you for the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Cinemates. If you enjoyed it, you can follow us and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all other major platforms. Also, if you haven't already, check out our Instagram and YouTube channel for more Cinemaze content and let us know what you thought of this episode. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge Australia's first people as the traditional owners and custodians of the land and pay respect to the Cammeraygal people of the Eora Nation upon whose country Cinemaze is based. We honour the storytelling and culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities across Australia. Also, in the spirit of chatting with mates, remember it's always important to check in with those around you, whether it's friends, family, or colleagues. Sometimes they may be going through a hard time, and chatting with them may reassure that they aren't alone. If you or anyone you know is ever struggling, call Lifeline on 13 11 14.